Hey, you know who it is. It's your boy, the Evian John, the Weezy F. Beezy, so breezy, bringing it to you as only we can as the spring season comes to a close. It can only lay way to this summer 2019. We are so excited as things now get ready to jump off in a major way. Coming up later on the show, full recap on all the championship games that took place, including an impressive game between the Bullies and the KCP Dolphins that were just off the chain. If you didn't get a chance to see the closure of that game, sudden death overtime, yo, we posted it. My man Coach Spotlight lit it up. Also gave you a good example of what was going on out there at Wise Field on Saturday. It's also events took place on Sunday at the same spot. Different organizations, different leagues. Get a chance to try and holler at my man Jeff Overton today, get the breakdown on that. Along with everybody getting ready to head on up to Canton for the camps that's taking place in July. I got the contact info for you as well as the major news. Oh my goodness, the World Youth Championships, Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy National Ranking Watch List is here. The preseason watch list just to help you get an idea of what you're looking at before we hit you off with the fall rankings to start things off in August. I'm telling you, you're going to want to be in the loop on this, and we're going to bring it to you as always. As the director, I don't believe that one person should be able to have that kind of responsibility as we have a board of some of the best ranking guys around the country, and I'm going to slowly introduce them to you as they choose to be revealed. If they want to stay anonymous, that's cool because you can get things done too as well. Hey, you still got all the options available. We got some video we get ready to air today. My man, the Tesla, Kevin Montague. Hey, the highlights from his spring pretty much will set things apart for him as he moves on with the Hamilton Football Tigers. This young man follows a great lineage of incredible halfbacks to play for the Tigers. We're going to introduce you to the Tesla, Kevin Montague. That's right. You ever seen a Tesla? Oh my goodness. Shawty's so wicked. Oh, I got to take the time to kick it. Also, we might break down a little more in depth that Bowie 1 Bulldog game versus the Showcase Sharks that took place and started our week off early on a Thursday. Oh, but of course, we got to get down to business as always. Hey, shouts out to my man Coach A. Hold on. Had to give him a little. Shouts out to my man Coach A. The Marlboro Ridge Bills. They hooked me up. Hey, look. And then laced the joint out. Bam. Yo. Hey, big boy ball, baby. They be playing that big boy ball over there. I'm going to rock that joint right now. I'm put that thing right there now. Just giving that love out. Let's get ready to get down to business. As always, you are enjoying You Got Voicemail. We're going to bring this thing to you every Tuesday through Friday. Wednesdays are option days because sometimes we get some good insight on things for Wednesday to help us prepare for the weekend. And we get flooded with information. That's why I don't do a show on Monday, because everything from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all just piles into the tablets. So you got to go through the emails and sort things out. But let's get this thing going. You Got Voicemail brought to you by the great sponsors, Dynamic Specialized Performance. Dynamic Specialized Performance, ladies and gentlemen, nobody works harder than my man, Favon Carter. Ow! It's going down. And look, and then he happened to pop up in the vid. That's how it is, baby. Hey, you got an opportunity to find out how to get yourself better, your core speed, your strength, all of the great intangibles to help you get better moving forward. Nobody works harder than my man, Favon Carter. Give him a call today at 443-306-7016 or go to the website. If you are outside of the DMV, you can get an opportunity to check it out as well. DynamicSP.net. Go to the website today. Go to the website. Man, as some of the great student athletes get ready to move up into the youth league level, some moving on from youth league to high school. Oh man, hold up. Case in point right there. See if I can get my man, holler at my man right here. Hey, there we go. Let's holler at my man right here. Coach Ron, don't go nowhere. See if I can holler at my man Biggs. Man, see if we can holler at the general, get this thing going right. That's how you start the show off, baby. Give me some theme music, that quiet storm right there. Give me some of that quiet storm right there.
Yo,
Yo,
what's good?
it's good, man.
None at work.
I know that's right. I ain't trying to hold you up too much. Just
I
want to
got
get a
we
chance
we
to
got
talk
we
to
got we
you,
got we
man.
got everybody up
Can
here.
I get some work or what?
Magic. Don't say it.
Nobody
Uh,
won't give me no work.
hey, man. Just snap your hair. I want to talk to you about, man, this experience of the whole youth league journey, man, working with Sid, watching his evolution, to see him play like he's playing now with D1 and get ready to go to the big man to man. I just feel that God had all of that, man.
That's the nephew.
Yeah, he put in that work, man. I mean, ain't too much to say about it. He put in that work. He trained. He did what he had to do. You know, everybody doubted him. Nobody wanted to let him in their school. I'm not say nobody, because
Look,
St. Francis was heavy on him. You know what I'm saying? They was heavy on him. He just proved everybody wrong, man. I just want to, shout out to Coach L, Coach D. Berry, the whole Spring to Master staff, man. They really got the best out of him. You know what I'm saying? He surprised me too.
hey, of course, as process, talking more about the next in the process, always had his work as a half. We saw him come heavy, now more loose. What was the part of loose and knowing what right take me? Y'all talk about the phenomenal metamorphosis you embarked in getting yourself together, but to see it happen to Mills well, what would you attribute to?
That's a tough one. I
But you
don't
know,
know.
some run into that brick wall and be stuck there. Y'all got to it like, yeah, that's how it be. Look at this guy, look. Come on, man.
He came to work with me today. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he came to work with me today, and Coach Magic got me the job. So we all it's a happy family here today. But to go back to your question. That's a tough one, Wayne. Like I said, I just thank God that he's able to get out there and get an opportunity to do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all we ever want is opportunity. And that he's been given that. The master gave him that. That's what it comes down to. Of course, we got Brendan Wyatt down there with him, his
Right.
teammate. We got Mason down there. We got Hammy down there. You know what I'm saying? So these Baltimore boys, Maryland boys, they go down there and have some fun, man. You know what I'm saying? Having see
Right.
what the WCAC is about. No shots to the MIAA, but we're gonna see what the WCAC is about.
I know that's right. Question, man. Once again, it's watching develop into where he is now. Watching he continues on, man.
Hey, hold on, let me say what's up, Stan.
Hey, look, man, come on. He'll get a shower on me on camera. Look, that boy like that. What's going on, man?
He's not real. He's not photogenic, and he's not really into like interviews and
Oh,
that type of thing.
yeah, but Tom Black,
Oh yeah, you gotta get your waves up like said, Wayne.
he trying to get all away from you.
Yeah, you gotta get your waves up.
He's sick out
Hey
here.
Wayne,
Hey,
let me get back to work, man. So I'll catch up with you guys later. I appreciate you bringing me on.
no doubt, man. Tell Magic mad love. Yo, of course you got an opportunity to rap my man, Big General. Of course. Let's see, we got Veron up in here too. Come on, hook up today. He's Voice Universe. Wow, hey, y'all getting spoiled now. Y'all getting spoiled now. We got Veron up in here. Y'all getting spoiled. Let's see if we can get Mighty F up in here and talk. Man, an incredible weekend comes to a close. Some great games took place at Wise High School in Gladiator. And I don't know, it's so much, it was so much to say during the course of the day that Sunday I just really sat back and reflected on all the great games that took place not only on the flag championship level, but as it moved into the tackle level, it was bananas. I see my man Marker here. Well, um, a lot going on again. To daughter's moving up from the 5th to the 6th grade, so she having her commencement services. It's a lot popping off, man. Let me see if I can holler at my man Mark, because I know he got some big news. I really don't want to tell y'all, but if I told y'all and then you'd be sitting like, what in the world is this dude about? I got you.
What's up,
Hey,
Wayne?
you know me, man. I'm trying not to let the cat out the bag, but you know how much I love to do it. Go ahead.
Hey, you know how hard we've worked, and I tell you what, the last 16 hours have just been crazy for me. Trying to work through everything, get everything done. As we promised, we would be here to let everybody know when it was and when it was going down. Well, today, right now, in the next 30 seconds, it's actually happening as I say it right now. We are releasing the national rankings for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
They are being released on our YouTube page right now, which is PFHOF World Youth Championships. You will go to there. You'll be able to see it on that. Then that will be the top 25 teams. Those top 25 teams will then, the next 25 who are on the schedule, who are on that as well, then that will be released. Wayne, you'll release what's our Facebook page name again, Wayne?
Oh, the Pro Football Hall of Fame Info Center, World Youth Championship Info Center,
Right.
WYC Info Center, and with the way we structured the Info Center was set up so that those, while many of the ranking listics are prepared by someone singularly, or they go out and just get a bunch of however they divulge their information, they get it. We not only have a collection of board members who are currently ranking teams in their regions right now, have those regions converted and formed like we already have it with the HOF board, and then still open up another level where you, the viewer, the parent, the student athlete, the coach, if you see your team missing and you say, hey, where do we fit? Go to the Hall of Fame list. If you're not in that 25 watch list that comes along with the top 25, there's the top 25 on this rank, and then there's the hot 25 that's set to come in. If you're not in that top 50, you want to see your name, your team information, and 2 reasons with video on why you feel like you should be in that top 50 conversation. Now, understand this. When you start talking about going from the East Coast to the West Coast, to up north, to down south, that list is going to be from some of the top teams and some of the top organizations that have already made the moves to only play at a high level. As we grow and grow and grow, it'll get more diverse. Of course, we move to the 7 bracket, taking up into I was there to say 7U. I don't want to go lower than 7U because coaches are on you. That's not fair. So, now you got an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to chime in and voice your opinion. That's why we put a statement out there to say, rep your team, USA. When you start talking about, it's just 169 teams in the DMV. Imagine talking about California and Texas and North Dakota, South Dakota, and Ohio and Utah and Florida. We can go. There's 50 other states up there that South campaign. We're looking to get what you team. So you have opportunity pages. See where you fit in. We do. Some has enough need for one can't see. That's
Yeah. Remember, and remember, like Wayne, like you said, this is the national ranking. That top 25 are who are we rank nationally. That next 25 on the bubble again consists of what on the bubble for a national ranking. Your individual watch list for the championships, your individual state list regional list. Those will come out later. And those are the teams that aren't on the rankings, but are being watched. Wayne, you and Jonathan have done an incredible job at encompassing what the ranking system needs to be. And I tell you what, everybody up here at the hall, as we're releasing, as we've been talking and going over it, there's meetings today in Canton going on about the village coming up. And one of the big issues that people are very impressed with is the caliber of professionalism that came out in this ranking system. It's not an easy thing to do. There's a reason that nobody has tried to tackle this ranking in the country, because so much work has to go into it to validate who you choose and how you choose somebody. That it takes, people think I can just put it on myself and do it. And people have tried and they've done a good job. I'm not putting it down. I won't put anybody's efforts down. But to be a legitimate ranking system, you have to have a legitimate ranking system committee and the support you need. That's why this is something that is phenomenal. This ranking system that you and Jonathan have done, that you have taken from all over the country, really encompasses each region. And it goes further than this. This is just the opening of the door. Once you get in, the floor plan that we have, it's a 12-story building for you. We've got everything coming that's going to just show how we do it step by step. And I tell you what, I know everybody out there who watches the show and says, Wayne, you're such a colorful character. I tell you what, man, you are an anchor in this show. You and Jonathan, I'm telling you what, man, I was blown away. Standing back and watching you guys just take the reins and go with this, it was, man, I'm at a loss for words for it. And I can't wait till the rest of the country sees what we've already know. This incredible opportunity that you guys have created for every organization, every kid, every coach. You have a say in the rankings. You do. And you can get out there and let us know where you are. We're not letting you know where we are. We're willing to know where you are so that we can bring you to the rest of the country. And today it starts. PFHOF World Youth Championships on YouTube. All right. It will be released on our website later today, the Pro Football Hall of Fame World Youth Championships. It will be released on our Facebook page as well. So everybody, please look for it. Wayne will have the information on how to contact us, get back to us on what to do. And again, together from coast to coast, we can make something that nobody else has been able to do. A legitimate, a validated ranking list for everybody in the whole country at all levels, man. Awesome job.
I think that's what's needed right now. And at the same token, we do understand that we are talking about youth football, a league, a generation of culture where technically statistics aren't taken individually, player for player, game for game, but everyone does pay homage to the score, the final score. All right. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you look at the final score, you run into a great team that plays a lesser team and they lose to them. These things all weigh into the balance. So what I'm asking, ladies and gentlemen, is don't just chime in and go, "Oh man, my team missed it. I want to put the DMV potholes up there all the time." Oh, I need to DMV potholes belong on there. I need to know 2 solid reasons why you feel DMV potholes should be on there. And we will look over and assess the big thing you have.
Yes.
Us to get the initial information to run with. Initial information knowing who you are and where you are. Because once I get a hold of the DMV potholes, now I can find out what league the potholes are in. Now I can look at the whole league to play in, find out what the quality of talent and competition is there, open up that, and now you start to talk about everything, which a lot of people say, "Oh, that's Wayne." No, which you and our youth consistently everywhere, which is exactly what a ranking system is. So that's what we're trying to do. And I understand there's no way I can see everything or our people can see everything. Mm-hmm. But you the players, you the coaches are there. So you it's about where you are, you created that dark space. Don't say I left out, didn't have it. Why we put it on. Go.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And like I said, Wayne, I'll make sure you get the links out. Again, coming up soon, you'll have access to the website's being revised as well. So you will have access to the ranking committee information. You'll have access to each regional director's contact information. You'll have access to each state director's contact information. These things we feel are essential. As you've always heard us say, we are building something that we want integrated into the culture of the country. Right. Therefore, it is in your hands. Your hands, every one of you have a say in what needs to be done and how you want to see it. Doesn't mean everything we can do, but at least you have a say in that we can make it part of your culture, part of your right. environment, part of your state. And that's what we're doing. We don't get anything for putting rankings out. Nobody's got slipping us jerseys or buying us dinners or nothing. No. We're doing this because youth football needs a unified, legitimate ranking system. Right. And many years have gone into preparing for this. And the final factors were somebody who was willing to take it over and do it in a way that encompasses what you as the country, you the players, the coaches, the teams, what you deserve. And those final two factors, those two cogs in the big machine was Wayne Matthews and Jonathan Gett. And when you get on there and you see it, I'll tell you what, you're going to understand. This is our initial rankings, all right? Our next ranking, Wayne, and actually we got to get ready for that too, because our next ranking is coming up in August.
Well, now that the spring is over, let me help you understand this. I mean, I know Mark, you already are aware, but maybe many of the viewers at home don't understand. I'll break it down to you. This person list is based upon the information that was gathered from the year prior, 2018, moving into 2019. Many teams on the older level lost players that moved up to high school. You have a whole new crop of younger players that are moving up. So the numbers vary. Now, during the spring, let's be open and honest, not everybody practices spring league tackle. So while right. you may teams who had successful fall seasons last year, you may have anywhere upwards from 5 to 15 players that either sat out for some reason, won the rest in the spring. Maybe they played 7-on-7. Maybe they had basketball or they ran track. They're dual sports. Mm-hmm. So you can't really assess the full strength of what they are during the spring. Now it culminates right. and all of the kits in the combine, evaluations, everything comes into play. You start walking into late June, July, August. Now it's summer walks into you because now these teams are starting to become fully equipped for what they're ready to do. And if you don't have the eyes to right. see what's going on, your expectation level is going to be shaken if you don't see this ranking list that's going to help you know you get ready to walk into a high quality venue to see some great football action. And that's right. what we are for. You talk about the Little League World Series. Well, this here, the World Youth Championships, is the Little League World Series of football. And we have the opportunity to get right. you that information and bring those top teams to the forefront. We want you on the page. We want you right. And we definitely want you to get the kind of exposure you deserve. So once again, do not say, oh, that's a friend list, that's a buddy list. That's the best DMV. When you look at this list and see how we all over the country and every nook and cranny, you're going to know you're rocking with people who are serious about doing it with integrity and trying with and say it's people you have
right.
What more?
Right. And to put it all together, I mean, and like you're saying, Wayne, this data, this collection of teams and information that we have right now are currently responsible, as of today, close to 100 teams being invited to the World Youth Championships already. There are only 300 spots for the championship teams. Right. That's it, throughout the whole country. We are not producing rankings. we are producing evaluations. And those evaluations from these rankings are for the World Championships. This year, we are so overloaded already at this juncture. It's going to be an incredible year that we're expecting close to nominations of close to 1,000 teams. 1,000 teams for 300 spots.
Right.
So when we put out these rankings for these teams for the World Championship, especially in the spring season and from the spring season, it's very important that we get them right. It's very important that we have the evaluations of those top caliber teams and in the overall picture, because there's not enough room for everybody. So we're not just inviting anybody, and it's reached areas now, Wayne, that we haven't even been in, or we were light in. We have teams from South Dakota, Wisconsin, Tennessee, multiple teams out of Florida. Texas is already with a dozen teams being nominated. Southern California. These are areas that we didn't have much representation in. But after our rankings, our scouts and everybody out there looking at teams and evaluating them, once putting out what we were doing, these areas saw that, one, they were educated on what we're doing and how we're doing it. And two, it did exactly what we wanted to. It allowed us to connect with your community. Doesn't matter where you are now. You can't hide, because it's up to you to come to us.
Right.
We've given you the opportunity. You now control our rankings. You control our championship. It's in your hands. If it comes around time to play the games and you say, well, my team was never nominated, that's your fault. Because we can only be so many places, man. And we do a heck of a job in doing it, but we need your help. This is not of rankings so that we can put a patch on our shoulders. This is the World Youth Championships. 1,000 teams will be nominated and invited for 300 spots. I can't make it any more clear.
We need the top size. Now while we talk about this as well, I want to clear something else up, because when you talk about rankings lists and putting together stuff, and people get caught up in who's this and who's that, and directors. Look, let me help you out. If you are someone who does the rankings on your youth level, for your youth level organizations and your leagues in your area, please do not take this misunderstanding and go, oh well, it's us against them. If you are doing the rankings in your region and you are the main, holler at your boy. That way, the information that you're collecting, we can now bring that into the greater collective, and we can build on what is the greatness of youth sport. There is no. Please don't walk.
And Wayne, also add in there. We want to give them credit for that.
I want you to have credit, but I want you to be on the board. I want this something where nobody's left out. Be it kid, be it team, be it org, be it ranking evaluator. Doing the ranking in your area, please don't carry this snobbish or instantly upset attitude. Oh man, they think they better than me. Man, I've been doing this forever. Well, if you've been doing it forever, contact me. Hit me up in my email, and we go from there. Come on and join the board. Bring your information, bring your savvy, bring your knowledge to the table so it can make it greater. Nobody here popping no checks like that, bro. We sitting here trying to put this together for the kids and have something accurate than what's been going on. Now, I will say it kind of bothered me. I was sitting here, I'm just chilling, going to the field, and I see somebody pop up and go, oh, I got a national ranking list. And I'm reading it, and I'm looking through it, and I know the research we've done, and I'm looking at 4 or 5 this list like, who the hell is that? Well, so research, okay. Somebody creates a list and just do their friend, they do their favorite team or their team on top. That's cool. There's gonna be a lot of that out here. There's a lot of reasons why people look at rankings, don't take it seriously, or don't respect it. Well, let me help you out. This one we want you to respect. So that's why we put the integrity behind it. So go ahead and substitute. This is not a buddy list. This is not a friend list. This is not the best of the people that I hang out with list. Because I got some
Right.
Yeah, so So this is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Take advantage of it. The videos will be out today as they begin to load up. I will be sharing them. Like, love, share, will give comments. If you enjoyed it, if you thought you anything, man, I'm willing to hear it all, good, bad, and the ugly. I still
Right.
look at um, I'm really excited about it. So everything will be already launched up probably by the close of this show.
If not already.
Right.
If not already. Yeah, that's why I got on so late. We were
give them
finishing.
the page that's already set up for you guys, and I know I got Pro Football Hall of Fame WYC Info Center. You can go straight there.
Right. Ours will be the PFHOF. That's Pro Football Hall of Fame. PFHOF World Youth Championship on YouTube. Okay. Go right to there. You'll be able to download that and be able to use that. All right. And hey, on a closing note too, you wonder where the hall's going to be this weekend. I tell you what, we're at a phenomenal event coming up in Louisiana. True Talent Sports is holding their All-American game down there. And with 700 kids down there, we have some very large announcements coming up down there as well. If you're in the area, I think it's at Cleveland. Yeah. If you're in Cleveland High School down there, I think it is. Come on down. We'll see some great football. And I tell you what, Hull's got some good stuff going on down there as well. We'll touch base with you next week. I get back after Sunday, and we'll go over some details on what's coming up. But like I said, national rankings released today. Look, if you're watching this for something else than football, you're watching, get on, and I'll tell you what, see your man Wayne in prime color. I tell you what, man, I don't see anybody do it better, and I've seen him at the peak of his ability there. He is the anchor of that system, and I tell you what, I must have watched it 100 times already, Wayne. I love every bit of it.
I went to go load it up, and I go a little bit, and I go, I'm so hard on myself, but I'm excited about it. I can't wait to hear the public's feedback. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you have a voice. A lot of places will just kick this list out and can care less how you feel. This one will be special because you have a voice. Please do not alienate yourself.
Yes.
If you feel like you're on the outside looking in, give us the video, give us the info, and let us know why you're not in. And we'll go ahead and get you straight. All right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And, hopefully, I'll have Jonathan supposed to be stopping through today too, as well, either by video or by phone call. So, hey, it's gonna be a great party right here.
That's great. All right. Hey, buddy, look, man, we get together in July. We're going to start going over stuff, getting ready for August, okay? So I'll be back with you next week.
You told me about this weekend. I'd have went, bro. I'd have went. But I got a weekend off. I got a weekend off this next week. Myrtle Beach.
What's a weekend off? I don't know that terminology.
More paperwork.
Answering emails, right? Answering emails.
Yeah,
hey, buddy.
All right.
Hats off. Congratulations. Look, and also, Wayne, from me to you, congratulations today. It's a great day for you as well. This is a big project that you worked really hard on. And I tell you what, I wish all the success to you as well, you and Jonathan out there, because you guys did a phenomenal job. Congratulations.
Man, I'm just trying to keep up with you. My man. Hey, you take it easy, man. Tell the wife and the kids I said what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the World Youth Championships, joining us here. Hey, look, my man Tony Mason, come on. Hey, Tom, why don't you tell me you really changed that joint to the commissioner, Tony Mason. Look at this dude, man. He wild boy right here. You know what I'm saying? Wild boy right here. He gonna get promoted. He gonna be the commissioner. One minute I think he on sabbatical. Now he's the commissioner. Wild boy right there. He's a wild boy, man. But it's all good. Man, let's run down some of these great teams that was doing some great stuff this weekend. Again, let me finish up Wow, Champion Drive Transportation. Champion Drive Transportation. Had a chance to see my man Jarvis Thomas come out to the field today on Saturday. Man, we had a great time assessing some of the great teams that was out there doing their thing. Um, but Champion Drive and the conversation me and Jarvis had started because when he first started taking his teams out on the road, my man was doing it in his own vehicle and getting there by any means in a lot of different ways with the support of the parents, right? So as they continue to develop this, he saw the need for teams who had challenges with getting to the field. Over the course of the spring, I noticed a lot of coaches who continually come to me going, man, I had to pick up 4 or 5 kids before I came over to the field. I mean, we got a lot of great parents that back their children and support their children and things they do, but getting them to the field for practice or getting them to the field for a game is a challenge. How are we really handling this? Is football an outlet for your son or your daughter to get better, and then if you find out they're great, now all of a sudden it's something you support them in? Or is it just another means of daycare? Oh man, going over there with him, and I see you about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Let's not lose track. Let's not lose focus of what's going on within our youth community as we are the community. I know there's a lot of great coaches out here who time after time after time invest their time in these student athletes, pick them up, help them with their homework, and carry them around. In many cases, feed them and then some. Let's talk about this with real substantial visions in how this goes. Because while we scream that there's a lot of public school teachers that don't get paid what they deserve, some of these youth coaches go above, beyond, and surpass what is expected of just a youth ball coach. And I don't want to let that become something that we never pay attention to. And I wanted to call in and talk about it yesterday, but I was enjoying Pandora's Playbook every Monday at 5 o'clock. Every Monday at 5 o'clock. You can check them out on Zoom. You can also check it out on my page, man. I was really wrapped up with a lot of the great conversations, a lot of the strong topics that the AD and Coach Tiff addressed on Pandora's Playbook, and that was one that just struck my nerve that I wanted to talk about. But it continues to vex me sometimes at how people emerge at the end of the season when the championships are passed out and the trophies are passed out. Everybody runs out and say, "Oh, I love the coach. I appreciate the coach. I love the coach." I bet you do, because all through the regular season, all through the practice week, he picking up your kid and doing everything for you. You show up on their championship day. Come on, man. You gotta give him some love more than that. I'm sorry, AD. I'm sitting here going off, man. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about that Pandora's Playbook zone yesterday. How y'all cut up in there with my man Archie and them, and just man, hey,
yeah. Check out my shirt. Check out my shirt. This is an old throwback from Central State University, and that's who's that? Malcolm X. And with this kind of chimes in what you said, by any means necessary.
Hey,
that is what we need to start doing in regards to working and doing what we say we love. Whether you are a parent, whether you are a coach, whomever the case may be. By any means necessary, you make it happen. Whatever you say you're going to do for that child, do it. Period. No excuses.
Right.
No excuses. Yeah, we had a great conversation yesterday. There was some technical difficulty with a few other people, coaches, great coaches that were coming in. It just wouldn't let them in, so I don't know what that was about. But they'll come in on another day or on another topic, or either pick up on that.
I guarantee you that's something that is, without question, is going to happen. I was watching yesterday, and I think I can't remember the coach's name off the top of my head, but I will say this. I take my hat off to him to the way he was able to verbally express a lot of the things that coaches go through and experience in such a tactful way that if you haven't seen the show, ladies and gentlemen, you got to go watch it. By the time Archie got in, it was all the way over. I'm like, yo, I'm just sitting there like, yeah, bro, yeah.
Well, before Archie, it was just before Archie was myself, and then my son Kenneth came in.
Yeah, I saw Kenny, but I'm talking about it was a guy, it was a coach that was calling in. He had to have been on the phone because I couldn't see him on my screen.
That was Archie.
Oh man, I know what Archie's voice sound like. I saw Archie Saturday at Wise. I know Archie sound.
Yeah.
It was somebody on the phone. It might have been Kenny then. Wow, I was just really, I was. Look, and they calling me.
They call it.
So how does it always happen when you get on the phone? Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, y'all, you done with the show? You ain't done with the show yet, right?
No, I'm actually talking to the AD right now on the show, and you on the show.
I'm on the show.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, you
hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey,
yeah, you on
who is that?
on the voice line. But that's
Okay, I'm on the voice line. What's up, voice world? How y'all doing, man?
nothing much, chilling, man. I know you got a big announcement in regards to Top Gun, and ironically, the AD is here. So bring it down to us, man. Talk to me a little bit about it.
Okay, so listen, man, we have a lot of interest for the tournament from a lot of teams.
Can you hear AD?
However, teams have been having some issues renting their rooms or booking rooms and things of that nature. It's quite expensive to stay in Ocean City. And then there's like 3 other events down there. So what we decided to do was move the Top Dog tournament from Ocean City to Washington, D.C. We've already secured our field. So we'll be hosting the tournament same days, June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Games will be held at Oxford Hill High School, Wise High School, Flowers High School, and Glen Park High School throughout the weekend. And so we'll put more details about that in text form and send that out to people so they can actually read it. However, the same thing still applies. If you won your spring championship game, you do receive a free entry. However, you still need to go and register at gladiatorsportingevents.com/challenge. Once you do that and pay your $150 at the conclusion of your tournament, whether it's in day 2 or the championship days, we will return the money. We just want to show to every team that says they're coming comes. We've reached some out-of-town teams, some of them from nationally ranked teams, and we're waiting for confirmation back from them now that we moved the tournament. So we should have some of that available as well in certain age groups. So we got some surprises with some people, and we're hoping to bring a lot of talent here to the DMV.
Oh, wow. So you said the target spots is Oxon Hill, Wise High School, you said Roosevelt,
Flowers,
and Flowers.
No.
and Gwen Park.
In Glen Park.
Flowers and Gwen Park. No L, no Roosevelt. Make that in. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Those are the 4 locations. As always, all events and all games and anything that we do with Gladiator Sporting Events will always be on high school turf fields or just turf fields in general. They're not necessarily high schools. So again, we just want to give everybody the best experience. So no excuses, no issues with weather or anything like that. For the teams that were local teams that were trying to come, again, that's a couple $100, couple $1,000, save in lodging and travel. We're still reaching out to the Southern Virginia team. We talked a lot of them down there. They're pretty excited about coming up now as well. It's a lot closer for them. And again, it's a cheaper space. So it's on average, it was about $250, $270 a night.
Are you serious?
Ocean City will.
It's prime time in Ocean City right now,
70 a night. Okay, so for those of you, if you didn't hear my man.
So in this area, we've been able to find rooms in this area as we've done our research in the last 48 hours. For rooms as cheap as $68 a night, $78 a night, and we're talking about good quality hotels at no more than $100 a night. So, we're talking about a vast difference in price and accommodation. So, ultimately, it's not what we wanted, but it might turn out to be the best thing for everybody involved.
Well, I know you always said you wanted to have a major event right here that we were more than capable of hosting it. Now you got every reason to do it and put it on.
Man, absolutely, man. So, like most things, we're going to move forward. Wayne, you know how I roll, man. Problems are they're just obstacles. Nothing is impossible. You know what I'm saying? So we just come up with things and we just keep pushing and we keep making things happen, man.
Hey,
we're not going to be stopped with what we're trying to do.
Hey, look, I know when I first met Kenny, he probably had a lemonade stand. Kenny should have had a lemonade stand. My My man know how to take some lemons. Kenny had to have a lemonade stand. I'm telling you.
And look, man, listen, it's all about opportunity, man. You know, we don't look at obstacles, you know, as things, as barriers and stuff like that, man. It's just an opportunity to make another move,
Right.
an opportunity to do something different, an opportunity to expand, an opportunity to enhance. You know, it's all about, everything is all about your mindset, man. You know, that's the one thing I wish I could give to everybody, man. It's about just having a positive mindset, a very progressive mindset, and never looking at something that is an obstacle in your way, man. You can do anything.
I know that's right. I'm glad you had a chance to call in. Hey, send me the details so I can put everything out there for the good peoples. I know the AD, man. She was ready to go. So you trying to get you a tan, wasn't you, girl? Up.
That's all right.
AD, I'm sorry, baby.
I'll get you one of them Oxon Hill tans, girl.
I just go to North Beach or just but school is over for me. I just leave Monday.
Okay.
It's all good.
She gonna make it a jump, and we gonna find a party spot somewhere. Hey, Kate, I appreciate you, man. And as always know how to turn lemons into lemonade, my man.
All right, that's all. See you later. Thanks, Wayne. See you later, AD.
No doubt.
All right, see ya.
Look, there they go. There you go. Official answer right there. Bang, bang, bang. So many people registered to take part in Top Dog, but had great difficulties trying to find lodging and hotels and motels to get the whole team in. $270 a night. Damn, Bert.
But when you go up to Ocean City, you know, this is prime time. Right now, it's right in the middle of summer now.
Right.
You know, all schools are out. So you at the first week of summer. So the prices are going to jump like that. You know, had it been a little bit earlier before the changeover, then it may have been good to go. But, you know, it's understood. It's understood. But the great thing is that he was able to work some magic and make something happen and get the proper locations, you know, and it's maybe more feasible for people. So, I mean, it's all good. It's all good. And then it's enough things in the DMV that people can really experience and enjoy themselves. You know, we have a vast weather, you know, they go up to Annapolis, you know, just they could have a few days to make their rounds,
Man.
you know, in the area. And we got some beautiful sightings. So it's
now it gets
good.
really interesting because anybody that goes to Top Dog gets to run into that powerful voice reporter package. I still got the amazing amicus at whether you go to Oxon Hill or Wise. You still got Tony and Roxy. Now Commissioner Tony, Commissioner of the Unity Thunder, Commissioner Tony, excuse me. Respect. Look, I'm getting myself right. I'm getting no trouble.
Okay.
Now, Commissioner. Now Amber's back. So Amber and Shabazz can tag team. And look, anywhere you go in them four, you're gonna have a great time. You still got my man DJ Heavyweight, DJ G Money, and if you go up, man, I'm not even gonna be here to go to Gwen Park. Man, Crab Boss be out there.
Now where the DJ's gonna be at? The DJ's gonna be at each location?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. I don't need my playlist then.
Hey, no, you just gotta rock out. You just gotta rock out and do your
Like,
thing.
on the mic, touchdown, baby! You're like, dang, he got his ankles broke. Nah, let me stop playing. I ain't gonna do it.
It's a huge thing. Unfortunately, at the Press Boss Bad Boys is being Myrtle Beach, but y'all, this is gonna be an outstanding opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for you to come out and see what we do, how we do at the start of the summer. That's powerful right there. Look.
All right.
Now,
interesting way to kick off the summer.
Now that was a good combo in itself, plus the combo I had with Mark. But now I want to talk about this Pandora playbook, John. Yeah, that thing. I'm gonna re-air it again today because yesterday I was sitting there like, "Come on, Mark. I know. What subject stood out to you after yesterday's show? Because y'all had some.
Well, I would say the subject that when talking about. I will say that when I asked my son the question was about if having a father present in a household. Let me see, God, we shouldn't have any 8th graders coming. Let me check real quick. All right, so let me see. What you doing? Are you trying to come in? All right, come on. Go wherever. Is he gonna be here or not? Whatever. So here we go. I forgot, I know I'm live.
You got class.
So asking the question about whether or not having a father present in the household made a difference in how you viewed your coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or if that made or if the second question was if a father that's present, if he takes offense to a child looking at their coach as a role model.
Right.
So those two things stood out because sometimes I know for instance that if a parent thinks that the coach has got too much power over their kid, they will try to undermine them by nitpicking every little thing that they do, just so that it will make it seem like the coach is unprepared, not reliable, or something like that. That is whether or not it's a male or a female coach. It's just that's part of the world. In that regard, Archie had great examples each time on regarding those topics. Also, the other thing that stood out was the response on what is that you take away from, what do you take to the next athlete?
Right.
Based on your experience that you've had with your coaches. You know, the pros and the cons. What did you leave? Because every coach you may not want to take something from.
Yeah.
You know, so that was it.
It was some deep topics on there. Hey, look, and it may get worse as the Commissioner Tony is on the line. Commissioner Tony, talk to me.
Hey, man, what's up, man?
Look, the Commissioner. Look, you wild boy now. There you go. Come up here,
Yeah,
somebody.
you see that?
Yeah, I see you. I see the AD in here. Man, we break it down the show from yesterday, and I get a chance to ask you a question. Now, when y'all if that was Kenny you was talking to, came up here, they were talking about a coach has the challenge of dealing with a couple that is no longer together. Mother comes to deal with the son, and then the father starts coming to deal with the son, but they're separate some way. A happy medium in that. That was so complicated. People never discussed, but coaches are in the middle of that all the time.
Well, the key thing I think anybody that will watch the show will find out, based on what we said, is pretty much there has to be a united front amongst the coaches, the player, and the parents, because the coach's role is this kind of enhanced support, ideally the good things that the parent wants that child to have. That child needs to know that they have a different level of support.
Yeah, y'all both going to say you can't see us, but
yeah,
both y'all answer
so
the same.
we answer the same question.
Right, he was saying
that's why we're not together. And then you go inside, because what I pull them out.
Boy.
Hey, so, hey man, won't you join and hang this phone up and join me, man. Come on, AD. I think a full class in front of you. You about to start educating and doing your.
No, this is the last school day coming in, so I'm gonna get ready to talk to them for a second. You know, everybody's like they didn't bring in some supplies the last 2-3 days of school.
You ain't telling
so they just.
Star, did you? You tell them you national. You ain't telling them you're a national star, did you? Wait,
They don't even know all that yet.
Yeah.
This crew not ready for that part of me. They ain't ready for that part.
You know you star.
And then I'll make some announcements later on as we get ready to move with this new certification thing I got going on.
Okay. All right, we don't go tell.
I'll make some announcements on that. So you'll see me put up the posting on that and how we're gonna make moves with that.
All right.
But it's gonna be awesome. All right.
All right, Mom. Look forward to
Have a good day. Okay. Bye.
Steve Laverne in here. Where my man Coach Tony at? Bow. Nope, that's not it. Here you go, Tony. I'm great. I got you, Tony. I got you, Tony. I got you. The Commissioner. I need a drink now. I need a drink now. Well, this dude. This guy here, man. Just The commissioner. Wow. And let this thing can't queue up fast enough. That thing can't queue up fast enough. I don't even like Candy. You are watching. You got voicemail. Still yet to come up in this show. Wow. A full breakdown on all the primetime players who showed out in the Gladiator Spring League Championship games that took place at Rise High School. More than 12 games, 13 hours of youth sports action brought to you by Gladiator. As we already had the major announcement that Top Dog will be held here in state at four different locations. Man, I got my man, the Hall of Famer Chris Haynes. Much star power in 1 hour. Let's see if we can get the Hall of Famer Chris Haynes up in here. But I try to get Tony on here. And I see my man Q in here. Boy, look. When the voice reporters come through, they come to shine, right? No answer from live stream guests. Okay, can I get Q? Q loading up. Because that's what it's about. Again, so much great stuff coming your way. I got all 12 scores, along with the Bowie 1 Bulldogs defeated the Showcase Sharks in Metro Maryland Football Alliance 8th grade championship action on Thursday to the score of 32 to 13. Man, primetime players in that game was easy to pick. The way the running game of Brendan Wyatt and Cedric Bennett Jr., who joined the show with Coach said a little earlier, really had a chance to shine and flourish because the MVP of the game was the Bowie 1 Bulldogs offensive.
On the guy.
We get ready to hang out with the wing builder. Come on, man. Talk to me, man. Drop knowledge on me.
How you doing, brother? What's going on?
I can't complain, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, same, man. Same. It's been too long, and not that long, no.
Yeah.
How the week been going for you?
Man, I'm enjoying the fact this will probably be the one down week before we start the Dear Summer tour. So I'm gonna relax a little bit, chill. But I want to sit down and talk and the wing builder. Come on.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Yeah, summer really just getting started for me now that the spring finally over. So yeah, man, we excited to finally get it going. I know it seemed like the season gets longer and longer, and we ready to just focus on just development. We got about 7 to 8 weeks or so. We're gonna get our boys right, playing some great football.
Gotta get them geared up as they get ready, because by fall they're gonna be wanting to play and showcase their abilities with a team. Matt, for many of the people who watching at home and want to find out more about you, tell them what you do and what your focus is. Q, I know, but they don't.
Right.
Talk
right. So I'm the wide receiver development engineer with One Village. We have my partners, Rock Carmichael, who's 5-year NFL vet. He's our DB engineer, and Bryce Willoughby, who also does linebackers. He's 3-time starter at Virginia State at the Trojans down there, and he also focuses. So we also have a training focus too individually. So Rock focuses on speed. I focus more on the agility, footwork, and movement program, and Bryce does the strength training. And we'll really get to dive into that next year with our off-season program that'll kind of focus on it. So it's going to be a cool little emphasis, and we'll reveal some of those details later on. But One Village Sports Academy really is focused right now on football specifically, with our emphasis really about being more supplementary football coaches than trainers, right? So you go to a trainer, and we try to be very specific in how we separate those things. So I think that there are very cost-effective people that you can go to, not expensive at all, and they're probably like the best in their country available to you in this area when it comes to like footwork, like moving, um, just all of the sauce, all of the sexy drills you see people post online. Um, I don't think that you have to pay a lot of money for that. What we want to focus on, and we're not that expensive either. I don't want to get into my price point, but I'm happy to share that with you, our menu. But we have a few different membership options for you to join One Village. So you have a monthly, we have a youth membership for the summer. We have a monthly membership for people who can't necessarily commit. And then we have a summer membership that's going to basically give you unlimited sessions to every session you can come to. So you come into a very structured workout that kind of operates and functions the way that a college football practice with periods, and we on scripts. And we get a lot of really great work done and helping kids be able to apply what they are able to do in those when they're doing all of their training in the off season. We're now kind of able to help them understand, like, this is why you do that drill. This is when you pull this out of the bag. This is the time where you pull this out of the bag. And when we go into like our competition periods, they're not really just about beating each other, but we're trying to work on the stuff. We try to give them the perspective to like work on all of the stuff that they work on in the lab and learning. So, when we talk about receivers with the release moves, everybody talked the joke about Dion and Randy Moss talking about receivers skipping off the line and stuff. But that is kind of important. Like, I yell at my kids all the time, like that's a sack. Like that's not the ball not getting thrown to you. And you take all that time off the line, quarterback gonna look you off. They're not even gonna go your way. So we want them to be able to be successful and also even be able to gain an awareness of their skill set. So they're not so disappointed when they don't recognize like why coach is not calling their phones or why I might have to be a little bit patient because of the situation I'm in. So that they can get the most. Because, you say it a lot about doing your due diligence. Like, you don't need a program to go to college. You just got to do your job. Like, your job is to be dominant and show yourself to be a college-level athlete. Now, I think that that's something where we need to be really honest with parents more and more because I've seen a lot of people that I think follow me through the Voice Sports, and I just see them talk about it in general on the Voice page where parents feel like their kids are getting a raw deal. And then you see the film and like, this kid not a college football player. He loves football. That's cool. Like everything isn't for everybody. And that is an opportunity that is supposed to be, it's supposed to be reserved for rare individuals. 7% of the people who play in high school every year graduate and go play college football. It's probably becoming less now because of the transfer portal. So you can't really, if you see your kid does not impress, like sometimes we have to start being really honest, right? Is my son impressive to me, right? Is my son impressive? And I think that we struggle to answer that question. Like sometimes I know that we love our kids, but we got to stop bulldozing. Like, you're not impressive. Like, he likes football. And so, like, there's a totally different thing. When I tell this person, like, hey, your son is fast, he's not a good football player yet. And, like, there you see people get really offended. I'm like, that doesn't mean that he can't be. Like, his whole life could change in a year.
But Q, name a parent. I know this is going to be a funny question, but name one parent who their kid is like a youth sports Hall of Famer.
Who doesn't?
You run into a parent that go, oh man, my son all right, or he's a team player.
You'd be surprised. I know in your space, the parents who hit you up not gonna say that. Like, man. They're not. Like, but the parents. But I do have the pleasure of talking to and like dealing with some, and also just knowing parents who aren't realistic with their kid. I think that's the reason why they get the most out of their kid. Okay. Like some of the people we look at, and like, because sometimes we look at the parent, so we look at sports parents the same, and we shouldn't sometimes. You have one dad who might be on his son hard, right? And then you have parent who, like the dad who's like on the coaches hard. So like
Right.
you know, and I think that those things should be taken with a grain of salt. Like if I got a parent that's yelling at his kid all the time, I might have to rein that dad in so that I help him understand. Like, hey man, I know that you're doing the best for your kid, but you gotta let me coach him up when he here, so that other kids respect me too. But I might not have to deal with that if I got a certain level of respect for my team anyway. And we know
Right.
that like that's who that dad is, right? Like you allow him to be that, like that's cool. But like if you're gonna be the parent that's always asking me like why my son don't play, coach suck cause my son not playing. My son could do that. Your son might not be, you're probably not realistic about who your son is. Like I mean I've listened to parents say like their kid is the best whatever on the team, and like that kid hasn't shown you that he can even do that. What you're saying that your kid is capable of, you've never seen your kid do that. You've never seen your kid high point a ball and catch it on somebody. So why should you play wide receiver?
Right.
Your son is fast. He might be a DB right now, but that wide receiver position is something that's like it's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. He might be a running back, or he might just be a kid that can run track.
Sean thought I was gonna get in trouble, and the other day I was like, "Young," I was like, I got a sincere question for the people." I said, what do you call it? What do you call a wide receiver that can't catch?"
You used to call him a DB, right? But like now, that's not true. Dudes play DB can make plays.
Yeah, you got some DBs that can make plays, but that makes them exceptional. Most of them,
But not me and my partner Rock was laughing about this last week. All the DBs when you go to college, you play D1 football. All the DBs in college going to tell you about how they was all state quarterback or receiver. Everybody can catch, man. Like everybody can touch the rock. Like at that level, maybe in high school, like that's not real though. Like not anymore. Like the game has changed. I think that's the thing that we got to talk about when we talk about who like what like how the game has people have gotten better. Like DBs probably are they probably more skilled. Like they might not be better than all of the like the best players might not be better than like Dion, a transcendent player. I don't know if we still got a guy that can cover like him. But the days of the cover corner is dead. Like you gotta be able to tackle and all of that.
right. You have to be balanced, because even in those days when people used to speak of Dion, they would often refer to the fact that he wasn't exactly involved in the run game at all. So there's, even though we hold him in high esteem, even then you had guys like Dion who had weaknesses. A lot of people felt like Darrell Green was better than Dion because Darrell Green was in the run game. So
but I think that's honestly perception, because when I look back at film of Dion, like that's not completely accurate. It just wasn't something that he was asked to do, and he was tasked with locking down number one receiver every game. So like he traveled a lot. So I think you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But he was like the idea of him like not being tough is not real. And
no, never say he wasn't involved in the run game, like making.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't.
So
I mean, yeah, you don't have to play like that anymore. Like I don't know.
Now,
like I mean, you didn't have to play like that then. Like he could just run with a dude off and play get over. Like, but he walked guys down. Like I seen him walk dudes down and make tackles. So
yeah, no doubt.
Do his job.
But
He was elite at what he do.
The same way we use that perception for the players and the student athletes, and like the subject you just touched on with the parents, I think it's hard. It's hard when you see people that they look at parents one way, when just like their journey through high school and up into college, every person is specific, case specific. They're individuals. I can't just say, okay, all parents are petty. I can't say all parents are foolish.
Yeah.
I can't say all parents will spend that money, because that's too broad. Whereas you got case by case, and I think that's the new part of going from spring to fall that you love to experience over and over again. For me as an announcer, because while you see some people and you know well, you see some people you ain't never met in your life, and you get a chance to learn who does what and who acts how and what parent. You got a lot of parents that come to the field and they won't say nothing.
I like those parents.
Good game or bad game. Then you got that mom that come with the cowbell and the megaphone and be like, yeah, and you be like, hey, bro, hey, mom,
She
child.
dope too.
I mean,
Yeah, she love her kid though.
because I done seen a mom with a megaphone calling plays. She calling
Play by
plays.
play. Or she calling plays like for the coach.
She like, look, the sweep, y'all done ran, every time y'all run the sweep to the right, we get a first down, run the sweep again. She's like, Mom, you
Oh
just
man, come on, man. You know they don't know. It's all good, and like those are things. So that I think that kind of goes to. We could do a good job. I think that I would like to see coaches do a better job of learning how to talk to parents. Because I think that would be something that you would see change things. I
right,
see a lot of coaches complain about how parents are. I very rarely hear a conversation where the coaches tell the parents up front how things are going to go.
right,
Like nobody ever says like when you start the season with the plan with the coaches meeting, like coaches with the parents meeting. I mean with the coaches, like the
mm-hmm.
coaches should say, hey, this is like this is how I would run a program. Like, hey, this is how things are going to go. Like my team, we don't do the whole yelling from the sideline thing. If you want to do that, like you should find another club for your team. Like I'm going to coach this team. I might not do everything that you agree with. Your son not going to agree with everything that I say. But I want to teach him how to handle adversity and, experience some challenges and grow as a person as well as an athlete. And it's going to be a fun season. If you set expectations, but everybody recruit the kids to try to win a game. So it's difficult you kind of send mixed signals with, if you ever were to have that message. Cause like my thing is like, I wouldn't, but I would kind of set that precedent beginning. Whereas when you ask me why your son doesn't play, I'm gonna call your son over here and be like, "Well, I tell you, you're not playing," because
Right,
I've done that in my coaching experience, and you might find that it's pretty remarkable. Like I don't even have to continue having this conversation. Like I told your son what they got to do. They not consistent. I don't trust them. I'm not playing them. And the parent is like, "Oh, okay, never talk about it again." But a lot of coaches kind of take a passive aggressive approach where they like, man, she always tripping. Like, yeah, she's tripping. Like she paid you $300 for her son to get better. And then you told her that she got to pay a trainer to help her son get better. Then she paid a trainer to help her son get better. And then you can't even you teach him to do something the trainer told him not to do. And then you tell him like, this is my team. So you got a beef with the trainer, but the trainer just want to help the kid get better. And the funny thing is I just had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier today. There used to be a time where you didn't have to go to a trainer to learn how to play football.
right.
Like
That
the
was some
coaches
coaches
now,
did.
it seems like they don't. Yeah, they like you didn't have to go to learn the fundamentals. Like I had to teach kids fundamentals, like getting your stance. When you catch the ball, what are you looking at? Fight with your hands. Like there are so many kids that come to us. It's their first time actually like getting like coached up by somebody who like I guess played it. I hate saying it like that, but not that you have to have played a position or play a game to be able to be effective coaching it. But I think that it's very difficult to develop a player to get better and tell them that this feels like that if you haven't ever experienced it.
Right,
Like you can't tell me that, like, because then I get into a back and forth. As a kid, right, I work hard and I recognize that I've worked harder at what I do than my coach has. So for my coach to tell me that I dropped a wide open bomb, he don't even have a perspective to it. Like my coach used to play line, so he can't tell me that running straight and looking backwards and catching the ball over my head is easy. Like that's
right,
not easy. It's I mean, just like I laugh when I hear coaches say he was scared when he went across the middle. And none of those dudes have ever caught a slant in the game. None of them have even ran a route and caught a foot. They haven't done it at no point. So they don't even have a perspective. They don't even have a perspective to give like the kid a circumstance or a mental landmark to be able to say like, hey man, when the ball is in the air, you can't think about none of that, right? Like, for
Right.
for me to help some kid understand, like, hey, if I'm gonna take a pool noodle and you're gonna run and you're gonna catch the ball and I'm gonna swing the pool noodle at you. If you, I want you to, I'm gonna tell you that for the first time, I'm not gonna tell you that when it's coming. I just want you to catch.
Right.
And when they actually started to catch the ball without thinking about me swinging at it, then I started swinging it at them. And they started realizing, like, it didn't even, I was bracing like it was going to hurt. Now I notice that the pool noodle don't even hurt. I'm not thinking about it anymore. Like, that's like the things that you do to create that perspective. But if
Right.
you've never done something, you're going to always tell somebody that they suck. And so that's why you got the sports fan, right, they talking about pro anything. That guy sucks. And we know, right, like that is comparatively, but like compare it to the rest of the world. Like, let's compare it. Let's do a comparison.
Right.
So if I say, I don't know who the 16th guy on the bench is for the Wizards, but he
Right.
don't suck because he is one of 50 people in the world that might be able to do his job. I don't care if it's just because he's tall. He's one of 50 people in the world that can do his job. So like that, like he can't suck in it because he's good enough to be a rare individual in general. Like he
Right.
just ain't as good as the star. And so
Right.
like when you know that you go to work, you're not the star, maintenance man, cash register guy, HR professional. You're not any of that. Like you're not top 50 in your industry, let alone your company. So, it's like those types of things that like we have to like try to remember sometimes when, you think about it. Cause like what happens is I've watched it trickle down further. Now I see it happen. It used to be like, man, I can't tell you how blown away I was when I was in college and I would hear like old adults talk about 17-year-old kids. Now, then I was like, man, they talk about kids in high school like that. Now I go to youth games, and it's adults calling kids sorry. I'm like, you never been good yourself. Like, how you sorry?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, we kind of got to get out of that, and like learn how to, as adults, understand, like, even if we volunteer coaches, that it's a responsibility. And
Right.
while you're volunteering, somebody paid. So your
Right.
service is like, it's a paid service that you volunteer to facilitate. So it's
Right.
essentially like you running a summer camp. If you pay $300 for summer camp and your kid not having fun, you're going to have some beef with the people that's in the camp, even if the camp cheap. Like,
Right.
I pay my money. They not enjoying it.
Right.
So like, yeah, it is about competition. But we got to keep those things we got to make sure we remind guys like about that. Like the league can't be that competitive if you got a participation requirement.
Yeah.
Like you and I know it's leagues that don't have no participation requirement.
I'm letting
Going
you,
down to
drop
fifth grade. Like, so I don't want to hear it. Like AYF not an elite league. I don't care how good the team is. Like you got 8 play teams, so you're not playing elite bump because you gotta play it. Somebody can shoot me for that, but that's true.
Hey, look, that's why I pull out my kendo stick so I can hit I got my whole Gandalf the Great thing when I talk to my man Q. See, this whole Gandalf, you shall not pass. I'm gonna talk to my
Yeah,
man.
you be giving that good that you be asking the good questions, man. Like these are the things that I want to vent about a lot. It's like I'm tired. I don't want to be arguing with people about like coaching. It's not about as I know that everybody means well. I mean, I want the best for the kids too. I hope that coaches will be willing to talk to me and learn. I'm willing to learn from them. But everybody wants to be an expert, and I think that sometimes if you're not the expert, then you're gonna have trouble. I think sometimes retaining the parents maybe.
Right.
And it's like, tell the truth, and you don't got to worry about parents staying with you. Just don't lie. Don't be a liar.
I definitely
Tell the truth. Be willing to say, like, I don't know, Mom. I'm gonna work on that. Be able to say, you know what? I probably should go to a coaching clinic learn about passing concepts because I don't. I just know what a route tree is. I don't know how they actually work together. I don't really understand route concepts.
Right.
Like they don't know these things. Like they do not know what these things mean. Like they might have like watched a YouTube video or they might have gone to a coaching clinic and heard somebody explain it, but they don't understand it.
It's funny sometimes, Q, when you watch people who have looked at football or think they understand it, and they might have been watching it 10, 15 years, and truly
Mm-hmm.
still understand the nuances of it. They know the score, they know the
Yeah.
title of phases of the game, they know what certain moves are called, but don't know how this orchestra of physicality works as a whole. So as they get older, they'll get a chance to see that, and that's why we try to add that edutainment side to it. It's one thing to be entertaining.
Yeah.
We got to start to educate a little more, because the smarter the people are, the smarter the families are, and that's one of the things I usually get from a lot of the females. They go, "Wow, you didn't just call the game. You helped me understand what my son was going through, so we could talk a little more about it and feel like I was
Yeah.
done with it." When he was trying to explain to me the difference between cover 2 and cover 3. I was like, well, dialogue.
They don't know.
Right. Sometimes.
They don't. They don't know. Like when coaches say tell kids, how often, like, we laugh a lot. You know how often coaches, kids, we ask like, what are you reading in cover 2? What are your keys? And the kids be like, I'm playing the flats. And I'm like, what's the flats?
Right.
Like, how do I play the flats? And they don't really know. Like, they just standing out there and covering space. Instead of you telling them, like, hey, you read 2-1 and you play 16-6. Give up singles, not doubles. Make him throw a hard ball over the top of my head. Like that, they do not tell them that. Like, so you have, like, everybody tells the kids to press, and then when the kid in a bad position, you blame him because he don't understand what you don't understand.
Right.
Like, and that's unfair. Like, I think it is creating a tough dynamic too. I'm saying this again, like, it creates a tough dynamic between the coaches and the trainers because some coaches aren't really willing to even ask kids like, hey, where did you learn that? Like, if a kid owns the information he has and the coach won't say like, hey, where did you learn that? Explain that to me. When I hear a kid talk that knows what they're talking about, I'm asking them questions so that I can see where they are so that I can help them. I can't just help them based on what I have. It's like,
you'd be surprised.
It's like going out on a date and hearing, like, assuming that I know what a woman wants without asking her, like, what do you like to do? Right. But I only assume, like, hey, I got this fun stuff I want to do. She gonna like it. She might not like it. She might not like extravagant trips. She might like to sit in the house and read books. Right. You done took her on this boring trip and she don't even like that.
You gotta know your personality to have those kind of conversations. So it just goes full spectrum. But I just think it's as the parents get more and more educated and start to gain some more enlightenment, the student athletes are going to continue to drum up, because again, even with it being a youth level, you got so many different various skill levels. You got some great trainers out here. You got position coaches with far more experience, both as players and in the capacity that could coach, that don't coach. Whereas you have coaches who are great motivators, but might not be an O's guy. So you're gonna have,
and everybody has a place. You're right. They got to know it.
Right. So you got your fair share kids is gonna come up with a Tecmo understanding, and then you gonna have those kids to come up with a Madden understanding. It's a huge thing when you start talking about playbook.
It is. One of the things I would love for you to do, I know that's something you don't really get into, but talking about, like, even if you had the commissioners of the various leagues come on and really talk about the differences, right? And it could be a discourse, it could be a discussion, but I think that there are different needs that get met by different leagues.
But you know what?
That I've observed in my experience.
I'll say this, and I don't want to sound all. I was thinking about closing the show with it, but I've been thinking about it hard for 2-3 weeks, and I don't want to sound like Martin Luther King about it, But I see a day where at some point in time, a lot of these leagues, the 4 major leagues in the DMV, I see a day where they're gonna merge, bro. I see a day where if we're gonna stop the state from shutting off full contact football completely, they're gonna demand some accountability, and that accountability is gonna call for teams to come together and merge in some shape or form. Where even if we do a show and discuss those differences, I think it'll be something that we'll look at as something that transpired in the past. Because eventually, I think by at some point in time, either slice of humble pie, learn how to work with each other, or the state gonna take us apart because of the very different levels. You got basketball, you got quote unquote elite level ball. Then you still have the other team. You got people who take the term Pop Warner and give it a classification like it's a division when
Yeah, it's all encompassing. Yeah.
and their business practices are far different from what you see in AYF, and then you got FBU that's totally different. Then you got the hall is different, and you got all the different events that take place in between, where there's a lot of lanes. Whereas a student athlete coming up as a seed, their tree can go all kinds of ways, be it the event, the team you select, where you play, who you play, and how you play.
Oh, big time.
I would love to see some form of unification where we can all get on the same page and ensure that one, these kids are being taught the game and taught the game correctly. Because the worst thing you want to see is a kid who picks up an injury, be it an arm or a leg, and they carry that into high school, and then they re-injure it, and they no longer can play. And then while talking about their glory days, the minute you get them to open their mouth, you find out the greatest travesty is they never really learned how to play the game at all.
Yeah, big time. I agree with you, man. So it was interesting. I was thinking about your question. I wanted to hear everything that you said because I was thinking about what you said about the unification. Sometimes I go back and forth on that because I think that like there are different leagues and I think that where we're going to agree is like there is a form of football for everybody. I think like in the long term, the game isn't intended for everybody's not supposed to play in high school or really competitive football. But like that's kind of why I like Mid-Maryland football lines. Like in terms, is definitely the way that they do it in the fall. I'm not as familiar in the spring, but I like how in the fall, like I like the idea of red stripe players, where it was what I don't care for with the AYF, where you got like one big kid that's kind of athletic, like you just give him the ball because he's bigger than everybody else. Like I don't care for that. I appreciate that in Mid-Maryland is intended to make football be played the way it's supposed to. So if you have kids that are like, health-wise, like just bigger than everybody else, can't be tackled. I enjoy so like the great thing about that too, like I think that I want to piggyback on because I think we always make it about ball carriers. Like if you got a really big boy that can run, he can play tight end, he just can't advance the ball because it's unsafe, right? So like that's dope. Like he can still be good, he can still work on his ball skills. Like I can still take the advantage and when I get in the goal line, just take the matchup and throw it to my big boy. But it still gives the other team an opportunity to play football.
Right.
And so in that league, what you find is, I guess they have like Centennial American and like something else above that, I think. I don't remember, but it's like 3 levels of the league. And so like the highest level is like, it's elite football. And only thing what that means is like these kids can play. Like they know how to play football. They know what's going on. They can do more than just do drills. And more times than not, like those parents are invested in their kids' development. And then you have like the next one under it, whereas like those kids can play too, but like they're more like just athletic kids that are like learning. They're figuring it out. Like they not the kids that can do it. And then you have your first year play or your less experienced kids, they play in the other league where it's about having fun. And they still have to weigh in and all of those things. So like I think that a model like that is like it makes it fine for everybody where winning the championship is great for everybody, right? But like even if I'm playing the elite league, like I think the elite league, if you make last place, you play in the second tier team's playoffs. So like it still make their playoffs competitive where you can't just run through it,
Right.
right? And you have to kind of prove it like I can at least beat an elite team. And so like I don't know, like the football is competitive all year. Everybody gets better all year. And I don't know. I would like to see that anyway. Plus, I think that league is dope because you play kids in different parts of the state. So even if the travel thing isn't like feasible for you, which I mean, with the exception of like two
Travel,
teams, I don't know how many teams that travel that see good bump really.
but you still play teams. You still get a chance to travel outside of your area within reason. They stretch the
Right, right.
a little bit. You're still in Maryland, but it's a big
You going up
difference.
to Reisterstown and
Right,
Frederick. Yeah, you going out there. So you playing kids that you don't play generally. If you play AYF, you don't play those kids till you get to Florida or regionals.
right. So you still get that opportunity to go outside of your normal spectrum and see where you stand. But that also is changing the I would say the platform now, because even with the rankings we were talking about earlier, you got more and more teams now very interested in traveling, be it to showcases or tournament events. You typically see now a lot of the events that would pull on kids individually. Those are starting to fade as tournament based travel joints are coming about, such as like the Top Dog and the joint Showtime Elite Showcase getting ready to do down in Myrtle Beach, where the whole team gets out on the road and they transition from spring to fall. I was having a conversation with some coaches, and I was like, "How many games do you think you'll have your typical 10U to 14U team plays in a year?" And they said 43.
That's ridiculous.
No, you say ridiculous, but when you go back and count it from the start of spring, your
That's
scrimmage
not good though, Wayne. Like I don't think that amount of football is good.
spring, then you talk about travel events during the summer, and then a full fall. That's saying you won the championships because you played a full playoff and a full championship. You talking about
Right.
40 games, not
It's a
counting.
lot.
So when you compensate for that with most of the practice time being in just in pots only and walkthroughs where they don't see all that conflict, but still you have to be able to manage what's going on. So when the conversation came back that it averages between 40 to 45 if you're a champion, I was like, that is a lot of football, but you're talking about spread out over a 10 to 11 month period. I would encourage that parents find out more about getting the pre-concussion screens and definitely, and I talked about it last week, the emphasis on rest. I think while you want to get them that exposure, you do need to pay attention to your child's response time, their healing, and let them rest. They're still growing, both
So
mentally and physically.
yeah, agree. I would say I don't want to push back too much, but I would only thing that I would say is it kind of presents a catch 22 a little bit. You said how many games? 45 for a
40,
champion,
40 to 45 is a championship team, the number of games a championship team would play in the course of a year.
right? So I think about that. Obviously, I know that the context of this is I know that they don't play a game a week, but I think about it from their standpoint and like how football is generally played, right?
Right.
And so if you playing 45 games, I mean, like I say it in the sense of it being like 45 weeks, right, of football. There's 52 weeks in a
Yeah,
in a year. Like they don't get time to rest. They definitely don't get time to train. We just talked about how like their coaches aren't teaching them how to play football. So like and this isn't a plug for me either, right? Like this is just something to think about. Um, how do you get better if you're always working, if you're always playing and learning plays or doing plays? Because like if I'm always playing, I can't really get better, especially if I'm not really being taught anything. I don't have time to be really taught anything to try. And if I'm playing games all the time, that means I'm trying to win. So there's no opportunity for me to like fail forward. And what I mean when I say that is like, we might have a workout session where I'm trying to help a kid get better at something, and I need him to fail for an hour to be able to get to where I want. If they just play all the time, they're always playing or they're always competing. Be that like, man, it could be track. It don't really matter what it is. But if I'm always in competition mode, I can't really ever fix the things that I need to fix. That's why in the NBA championship now, they get 4 days in between. It's not just about rest. It's so they can practice and they can have the best possible competition on the floor every night. They don't get to practice during the game because they play all the time.
Okay.
But you know, with the like, you should give them. I think that they should have like, so even in college, right? If you think about it, like college and NFL, right? Like the seasons are longer and they don't just play right away. Like you go into winter conditioning where there's no football activities. You're not really throwing the football. You can with your teammates do your extra work, but you're just doing lifting and agility stuff. And then you go into spring football that is not a competition. Like you don't see ESPN talk about who's winning the spring championship. I mean, they talk about the recruiting season, but when you see them report on OTAs for the NFL, they're just talking about where the improvement is happening, who's gotten better, who's looking good in the offseason right now. Like,
Right.
that's it. It's not about winning. Like, nobody cares because if you, like, you know, there's a lot of programs who win in the spring and don't in the fall. And that might be a host of reasons. But, like, if it's about the kids, when we put emphasis on making sure that the kids get better so they can be as successful as possible.
Right.
Versus, you know, trying to take pictures with, you know, trophies.
The
We adults, we try and take pictures with kids' trophies.
The other thing that while the subject came up, like I said, we were talking about the 40 to 45 games, is that when you got a full roster, 25 to 30. Hold on a second, I got my next guest, my man.
They calling you.
Yeah. All right, thank you for joining voicemail, Jonathan. Is it Jonathan? Let's see if this is Jonathan. If it's Jonathan, Jonathan again is the rep from New York. John, is that you? Yeah, it sounds like it's you. Hold on a second. Let me get everything linked up. I'm talking to my man. But yeah, also within that 40 to 45 game stretch is conversation where these teams are fully stacked, anywhere from 32 kids, and you're looking to get them in game situations, and you got different packages or got different players. The chances that one kid gonna play in all three and play out is kind of egregious, but that's what you have to now to more so develop those kids who got lesser time. Like many of the kids I saw this spring, they were first-year players, guys who great in the classroom, but didn't quite click on the field. So they take the spring to get in their minutes, because in the fall, the starters is coming back, or the major players, the ones that are now in 7-on-7s or
in training, the ones that's serious. That's the spring should be for development time.
Right, they getting ready to come back with had their ears buttoned back. So those are the ones you want to focus on. But the stronger the depth chart is where you see those spring teams. If they have hell of a spring, and your first teamers are doing it, when you add that component of your vets and your seasoned players to those rosters, that's when you see the team quality jump. Now you got 25 to 33 kids to spell through. You're not going to come out there and just burn up one package. You dig?
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely like to see more experimentation and stuff too.
Give more than enough time for the first years and the vets to get plays. Because now if you go to a camp or combine or these showcase games, you got parents down there counting how many snaps the kid got.
Yeah. Can I touch on that real quick about them showcases and them camps?
Jonathan, that's you online? Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Q.
No, I was
Okay.
just going to say really quickly, like parents, I know that, especially when you send your kid to a showcase camp to get looked at by coaches, maybe high school or college, you got to look for your, hey, pretty girl. You got to look for, um,
Like,
you got to hold your kid accountable to compete. The coaches want to see a kid that's not going to be begging for reps, and they want to see an alpha. So if your kid getting chumped for reps and you see the same kid going over and over, yell at your kid. Don't yell at who facilitated the camp, because that's not going to do you a favor.
no doubt. Hey, Q, as always, I appreciate rapping with you, man. One more time, let everybody know who you rapping for. I just saw the flyers. I really haven't had a chance for you to talk about it. Please tell them
Yeah,
how
no
to get
worries.
in contact with you, man, and link up, man. That's why I really wanted to talk to you today.
Yeah, no doubt. One Village Sports Academy.
One,
Our wide receiver, yep, our wide receiver DB and linebacker clubs. They go off every Tuesday and Thursday night at Gwynn Park at 6:30. We work with the little kids around 6, and we go a lot of nights until about 9 o'clock. So it's a lot of great work being done. And then Saturday mornings we there at Gwynn Park High School from 11:30 to about 1 or so.
my man, my man. Hey, not
All
only
right.
do you get a chance to work with my man Q, but he's a great dad as well. Hey, look, I saw you up there cutting up the other day. Sometimes you gotta have that daddy-daughter time, man. You gotta do it.
There you do. You do. It's the
I
greatest.
appreciate you, man. Hey, and as always, whenever you get a chance to see my man Q, please stop and talk to him. A wealth of knowledge, an incredible guy, and an even better coach. Holler at my man Q at your opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, bro.
All right, brother. I appreciate you again. I know we was talking for a long time, but I'll talk to you soon.
That's what we're here for. That's why it's Talk to Me Tuesday.
All right, brother.
All right, my man. On the man, Pro Football Hall of Fame New York rep, my man Jonathan Gint. Come on, holler at me, John. What's up? I know you heard the news today as the videos are being released as we speak. I haven't had a chance to go to the page and check everything out because I was doing the show, but was really excited to have opportunity for the people to holler at you and get a chance to talk a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come on, and next time I'll plug in and I'll actually join the on Facebook. But for today, I'll just call in and you'll hear me. So yeah, I had the privilege of going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy 2 years ago with my son, and we were so inspired. They call it the most inspiring place on earth, and we left there so inspired that I wanted to keep in touch with the folks that put on the academy and offer the World Youth Championship. And I ended up scouting, getting 6 teams from Rochester and Buffalo, New York area to go in and participate in the World Youth Championship that first year. And then last year, I brought on a couple of scouts to help me, and we tripled that number, and we brought 18 teams into the World Youth Championship. And now it's just continuing to snowball and continuing to grow. So it's just been a lot of fun, and I'm really grateful and blessed to be associated.
Okay, man. So now also in that capacity, you're director for the New York region. A lot of great stuff going on up there as well, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So we expanded. We started in Rochester, New York, and we had teams come in from Buffalo and Syracuse area. And now this year, the big new exciting thing that we got going is we're establishing an upstate New York all-star program, which means we'll have a 6th grade team, a 7th grade team, and an 8th grade team representing the 585, the 585, the 716, and the 315. Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, and everywhere in between in north and south in the state of New York is going to be represented at the all-star level. So not only will we have 20-plus teams coming in the league division from upstate New York in the all-star tournament, we'll also have a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all-star team to represent this part of New York State.
Wow. So when exactly are those dates? You know what dates the tryouts are for, and how do people go about getting in contact with you if they wanted to participate, especially in that New York region? Because there's a lot of great football going on up there as we speak. I know.
There is, and don't sleep on upstate New York. We may not be known like Florida and Texas and California and other places, DC, DMV area for
Right.
football, like some of those other football hotbeds are, but upstate New York has some real good football being played up here.
I know that's
and
right.
A lot of really hungry and talented players and coaches that are ready to show out and really show up and show what they can do. And so we're going to start having the tryouts. We have not confirmed the first tryout date yet, but we expect that last week in June, and then hitting the ground running into July, we're going to start hosting tryouts in the Rochester, Buffalo, and Syracuse area. We asked one of the pillars of the football community here in upstate New York, a guy by the name of Caleb Gauze, who is head coach at UPrep, which is I think the varsity head coach at UPrep, the city school in Rochester.
Right.
And he's also the owner of NLB, which stands for Next Level and Beyond. So to score him as our all-star director, and he's putting together the head coaches of the 3 teams, and he's going to officially announce tryout dates coming up, starting at end of June and through July and August. More to come. So more to come on that, and but Kayla is really going to drive this program and show the world really what we've got to offer in upstate New York. And so for updates and to see running there, these tryouts are going to be, you should all look at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy Upstate New York Facebook page.
Okay. Once again, man, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who you're listening to, my man Jonathan Gant is a beast. A beast. I had a chance to work with. I had to work with my man John. We went up Mother's Day weekend, right?
That's right. It was Mother's Day.
Mother's Day weekend, and we went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy in Canton, and we broke down the preseason watch list for the ranking system. Those videos are going to air as we speak, if they aren't up now already. Man, Jonathan, let's talk a little bit about the creation process, some behind the scenes. Man, as we had a chance to, we met literally in the airport on the way up.
Yeah, that was funny too, because I was sitting there waiting to get on my second flight, and I'm looking around trying to see where you are, and then I looked over, because I looked you up online to see what you looked like, and I felt like the time we were able to spend traveling, that second leg of the trip, had us ready just to roll. When we got to Canton, and I should just tell the listeners and viewers that when you go to Canton, Ohio, this is the mecca of football. This is like holy hallowed ground when you step foot into the Hall of Fame Museum. And so when we walked in there that day, I got goosebumps as we're walking past the more than 200 bust statues of the Hall of Famers, and we walk into a room right across the hall from where all those busts and all those great all-time players, to break down the top almost 400 teams playing youth football. It just was an unbelievable feeling to be in that setting, and to have the privilege and the honor to be able to talk about youth football, which is so important at this grassroots level, because that's where it all begins. And to be able to sit with you and really understand the level of in-depth research you did to scout these teams across the country. We're talking about 400 teams where we put together descriptions of who's the coach, what are their strengths and weaknesses, what did they do last year, what are you expecting them to do this year. I mean, that's a lot of work, and I kind of felt bad because you did it all.
Come on, man.
And I didn't.
I have.
But I showed up. All I had to do was show up and sit and try to facilitate an intelligent conversation about the best youth football teams in the country, and that's what we did. And it was just a phenomenal experience. I can't wait to get back there and do it again.
I can't wait for the videos to air. I think one of the most memorable things, once we got to Canton, and Mark scooped us up, and we don't mess my feed up. Hey, look, if they calling me. Look, if you see me on the feed, you cannot call me through Messenger. You dig? You're gonna mess the feed up. Don't do that. Come on, Church Peace Tabernacle. I was sitting here having a good time, and we went and we sat down and was just genuinely getting to know each other, and the conversation that we had not only at dinner, but we was up on the fifth floor, and was just generally talking about how we gonna go about doing it. I noticed how Mark's enthusiasm and his pre-video speech made you feel like I just wanted to go hit somebody at that point in time, you know?
That speech was legit. That was fire.
I was like, man, I'm ready to go hit somebody, and I'm sitting here, and John just sitting there just as cool as the other side of the pillow, like, yeah, this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna lay it out, and I felt like I just wanted to be the energy. I said, let me just relax and do what we do best. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have a chance to not only enjoy these videos, but many of the great videos to come. As many people, when they do a ranking list, they just cut out. They'll just do a little video JPEG, and they post it everywhere. We getting ready to come at you where we're not only going to break down the teams, we're going to provide you with video footage of the teams. You get a chance to chime in on it, and all of the information and the research that we put into it here at Voice Sports with the voice reporters, it's going to kick it up a whole nother notch. Because now you got John Genson right there like this, giving it to you straight. And I'm just trying, trying to keep it live, I'm trying to support, because it's an extremely high level of professionalism that you brought to the table, and I deeply respect it, and I think that it's an outstanding component to what we all can bring to the collective. And the videos air today, ladies and gentlemen. If you see it, like it, love it, share it everywhere. It's going out to you. And for those people who in New York, Rochester, in that area that want to get in contact with John, how would they go about reaching you, John?
Well, Facebook page is the best way. So it's Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy, upstate New York region.
Mm-hmm. There it is. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, find out more today. If you see my man Jonathan, you see him attached to the posting, send him a like, let him know what you're seeing, how you feel. Your input is invaluable. As always here at Voice Sports, you the people have a voice. Make sure it's heard. John, man, I appreciate you coming on, man, and I look forward to maybe talking to you. If we can do it once a week, it would be great by me. Anything, because I would love to know more about what's going on with some of them great teams up there in New York.
Yeah, let's plan on that. And next time I'll join on the Facebook feed, and I'll make sure I wear my Hall of Fame shirt and everything. Just for you, Wayne.
Hey, come on, man. Gotta show out. Hey, no doubt about it. We gotta make it happen, man. As we come into the wow, it is almost, it's 1 o'clock already, bro. The show went so fast, I still ain't even done my scores yet. So, a great show and outstanding. I'm just so honored to finally have you on. I know we're getting ready to have you come back and do the video feed, but I'm honored to have you to take this time out to talk to us on the day we launched the videos, John.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to coming back again.
I appreciate you. We'll talk real soon, bro.
All right. Peace out.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, the director in New York for the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy, my man Jonathan Gant. Hey, one of the smoothest brothers you're going to get a chance to talk to. Hey, I got the video. Everything should be linking up right about now. I'm going to attach I'm going to see if I can attach the ranking list and the videos to the watch list so you can see them immediately following the show. So look out for the watch list tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. We are not going to do the show tomorrow. I'm going to add nothing but the rankings all day tomorrow. I'm going to kick them joints out and keep kicking them out. We want them to be seen. We want it to go around. We want people to know what time it is as well. As now we already in the 1 o'clock hour. Hey, look, I'll talk about this gladiator thing a little more tomorrow. We'll break it down tomorrow in depth because I got a whole list of. I got all the primetime players. I got all the primetime players, ready. I got all the scores, and we're gonna be here another hour if I do it today. So I don't want to burn too much past my time. On behalf of our great sponsors, the people that help bring you got voicemail every week, I want to give you a chance to check it out like this. Champion Drive Transportation service in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Delaware, and Pennsylvania helps provide you and your team the opportunity to go to a lot of great camps, combines, and things all up and down the Eastern Shoreboard. Whether you want to go to Canton for Pro Football Hall of Fame, maybe you want to go down to Florida for FBU. Wherever you choose to go or wherever you choose to get there, this week, maybe you trying to get to the Showtime Elite Showcase in Myrtle Beach. Get down there and give them a call at 301-237-8361. Also, Dynamic Specialized Performance. If you're looking to get better at your core speed, core strength, and ability and agility, you want to work out with one of the best in the area. Shouts out to my man. Nobody works harder than for Ron Carter at 443-306-7016. Or you can go to the website anywhere in the continental U.S. at dynamicsp.net. Find out more about it. Also, Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy World Youth Championships, they are looking for you. If you think you're one of the top teams and you deserve to be in that top 300, trust and believe, Pop. Get in contact with my man Mark Baldurian today at 856-883-1862. Make sure you tell him the voice sent you and put it down like that. If you can't tell him, holler at me and I get you hooked up. Holler at your boy, I line you up, and get your team in there and right for the World Youth Championship. You're trying to look good, and I know you should, whether it's your team, your coach, your team mom, or the great people that support your squad in their hood. Get in contact with my man on the West Coast at A2K Apparel. Brent Chris Gray today at 916-290-3034. Bringing you some of the best designs, uniforms, shirts, merchandise. If you can think of it and put a logo on it, A2K will take care of it for you today. Help enhance your fundraising for your team by upgrading your merchandising ability. Sell the great things to help people see more and more about your great team. Also on the East Coast, Al Spears puts it down with no fears of Showtime Athletics. Host of the Showtime Elite Showcase coming your way June 21st through the 23rd. Al Spears is putting it down. Voice Sports will definitely be in the building along with my man and other half of the Press Box Bad Boys, Coach Twilight. Will be doing it. Get in contact with my man Al today at 704-224-3277. 14U Elite Level position still available. If you are a 14U Elite Level player and you meet the age range, get in contact with my man Al Spears today. You got about 2 weeks and we're going to be down there having a great time. Get yourself lined up like you should be. Also, the law offices of Sergeant M. Douglas specializing in personal injury, estate, family, and criminal law. Again, let me say it again. Personal injury, estate, family, and criminal law. That means there's no reason for so many of our young student athletes, juveniles, that get caught up in this nonsense, keep rocking with these quarter pointers and catching time and messing yourself up for just being at the playground when the boys came through. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about the movie Now They See Us. I skimmed through it and it disturbed me so much I cut it off. But I will say this. A big part of what can change the dynamic is one, doing what you need to do, of course, being where you need to be, secondly, and third, stop rocking with these quarter pointers, man. They strike deals, bro. They strike deals for real. Get you a real lawyer. Stop falling for the lie that says having a real lawyer is too expensive. That is a falsehood. That is a fallacy. Get in contact with my girl today. The law offices of Sandra M. Douglas. You can give her a call at 410-685-6181. That's 410-685-6181. You dig where I'm coming from? And we getting ready to shut down the show. Man, what an incredible one it was. So many great people. So many great things
Now,
coming
look
your
at
way.
you.
I want you
But I
to
worry
have
about
opportunity to
you.
really,
I
really
worry about you all
invest
the
and
time.
involve
Hang
yourself
out on the corner
in
all
what
the
youth
time at
sports
night with the
is.
cool people.
For
Baby, that
many
ain't
of the
nothing but
student
trouble.
athletes on the 8th grade
I
level that are
always
now
taught
getting
you
ready to
that you
go on
can
to high
have
school
whatever you
and
dream.
move on, I'm
Well, I want you to hold on to
congratulatory
that
to you.
dream, baby.
Happy for your
Hold
journey.
on
I'm
to it
hoping that
real
everything you
tight.
learned during your youth
'Cause
sports
the sky's
career
the limit.
and the time you spend on the voice sports will be great because I'm still going to watch you. We still there. And for all of the younger players who are
Good
now
evening,
moving
ladies and
up,
gentlemen.
hey, I
How's
want you to
everybody
know
doing
right
tonight?
here, the sky's the
I'd
limit
like to
for you. You
welcome
can
to
go
the
wherever
stage
you want. You can do whatever you
lyrically
want to do.
acclaimed.
Sometimes
I
when
like
people
this
tell
young
you you
man
can't,
because when he
you need
came
to
out, he
dig
came
deep
out with the
inside
phrase,
yourself. If you're not hurting
he went from
nobody, you're not
ashy
stealing
to
from nobody, you're
classy.
not killing
I
nobody,
like that.
why
So
not?
everybody in the house,
You got
give
dreams
a
to live.
warm
You got
round of
ways to go.
applause
You got
for
people to
the
see. You got
notorious
things to do. The
B.I.G.
future
The
is with
notorious
you.
B.I.G., ladies and
Sky's the
gentlemen.
limit,
Give it up for him,
y'all.
y'all.
Be up out of here. I'll talk about the scores tomorrow.
I've never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Shouts out to Martin Soul Food Barbecue.
You want to see the inside?
Cutting up, bro.
See you later.
I might have to call them today. They came out to the game this weekend, man. It was dope.
Stay in your place.
Man, I'm ready to go check these videos out. And
Go in this pocket. Rob him while his friends watching. Clock. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next.
yeah, you know, trying to keep it right, you know. Hey, look, you need more white in it to set off my shirt, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, our colors was red, white, and blue, but, you know, they just went with red and blue. It's kind of black, but, you know. Hey, you know what it is. Holla at your boys.